Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Shafi'i. Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum Allah. Just get used to that. So I was asked to give a talk about the virtues of asking for knowledge. So I think that we should start about talking about some of the differences between seeking knowledge for the sake of Allah and not for the sake of Allah, because intention is a big deal when it comes to seeking knowledge. We learned from the Prophet ﷺ that one of the first people that will enter Jahannam on the Day of Judgment is someone who only seeks ilm for people to say upon him, oh yeah, that's a sheikh right there, that's a scholar. These people only came for ilm so that they would get like prosperity, not prosperity, they would get like fame in this life. These people, we aren't from them when it comes to being together on the Day of Judgment. The people of ilm are the ones who only want ilm so that they can make this life better for the sake of Allah and for them on the Day of Judgment. When you impart knowledge on somebody and it affects them in a way that pleases Allah, it's like you'll see it on the Day of Judgment from now until the Day of Judgment. I'm sorry. So, you can hear me now? So, every bit of Quran you memorize, or every tafsir that you memorize, or any hadith that you memorize, when it goes to somebody else on the Day of Judgment, you'll be seeing it as if it's tenfold. Don't gain knowledge in an attempt to make yourself feel like you're better than somebody else. You should be gaining knowledge so that you can spread Islam and you can make it in a way that Allah is happy with. There's a narration about a man who was in a village and he was the only Muslim, or he was the only one who knew about Allah at that time. And around him were a bunch of people who didn't know anything about Islam or Allah or anything of the matter. So Allah finally made the decree to destroy the village. And the angels asked him, oh Allah, there's a Muslim or there's someone who worships you here. Should we destroy, he's there, should we destroy this village or not? And Allah said that they should start the destruction with him. So this gift that we've been given, this ni'mah of Islam, is not something we're supposed to be keeping to ourselves, that we're the only ones going, everybody else is going to hell. We're different. We're not like people in the past who said, we are the only ones going to heaven. That's not how it is. We have Islam. It's not like we deserved it, like we worked for it. Allah gave it to us. He chose us to be people to spread it. So that's our job. We don't want to be spreading the wrong Islam or crooked Islam, no matter how many times CNN or Fox News wants to slay us. As Muslims, it's upon us to know our deen, know who the Prophet ﷺ was, what was revealed to him, and what he produced from being revealed in the Quran. Those who have knowledge, there's no point in them having knowledge if they're not going to spread it. So the difference between someone who has knowledge and doesn't have knowledge is like the same as someone. I'll give you an example. Imagine you have a friend who's a director, that he makes a lot of movies. He's made a lot of movies in the past, but you just haven't watched them. So now he makes a new movie and you decide, why not watch it? He's asked all his other friends to watch the movie and they all said no. He came to you and you said yes. He didn't tell you what genre the movie is. So you go to watch the movie and you think maybe it's a horror movie, but it actually turns out to be a comedy movie. There's two types of people in this situation. There's people who realize quick that because there's no ghosts and no horror and no blood, it must not be a horror movie. But then there's some people there who will sit there and watch the entire movie to the end, believing that's a horror movie, and they'll call it a bad movie. The one who was smart and understood it was a comedy movie will change his mind and enjoy the rest of the movie and have no problem correcting all the mistakes he made in the past. At the end of the movie, the director is going to come and tell you it was indeed a comedy movie. But the person who believes it's a horror movie, he's going to go home not liking the movie because it was too late. The movie is already over. Now imagine if there was someone there who knew that it was a comedy movie and saw you struggling or even did it and maybe wanted to help you, and he told you it's a comedy movie, and just like that you changed. Now, instead of being upset, you would be enlightened. You would be elated. So the people who have knowledge, it's our duty. We could be the reason why someone who's supposed to be going to hell can go to heaven. Allah is the only one that can do it. But we may be able to give people the steps to come closer towards Islam, to embrace Islam. So when you're seeking knowledge, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. Maybe you'll be around knowledge that isn't beneficial, but you have to keep trying. You can't give up. Nothing comes easy. None of the scholars in the past became scholars overnight. Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, they used to say that he wouldn't become a Muslim before a goat became a Muslim. And now he's buried next to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody starts from somewhere. So, inshallah, tawfiq will be ours as long as we give our best, inshallah.